What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Off the Wall. For those that's new to my channel, this is my segment where I go through records in my record collection. And, I give a little backstory on what they mean to me and give a quick analysis on what I think about the record and why it is in my collection. Today, I'm continuing my Woman Week. I picked this album because I feel like what I have in store, the rest of the albums are pretty on a darker side. So I would tell them, but it's a surprise. But but I wanted to have something in there that was just something upbeat and something just lively in my reviews. So today on Off the Wall, we're gonna be talking about Beyoncé, BDAY.
Bass.
I picked this one. Like I said, I wanted to have something that was a little bit more lively in my Women's Week review week. But I also just really love Beyonce BDAY album. If four didn't exist, this would be my favorite Beyonce album. But it is it's more for me at least. It's more listenable than four. I think it's her most concise. Just as a body of work, I think it's her most concise and theme-driven album. I know we got Lemonade and things of that nature, but I think every song, it's called B-Day, I think every song is like a celebration until we get to the last song on the album. But I think also this is the Beyonce that is mostly duplicated, and this is the Beyonce that I think this put her in the queen aura. And the stuff that she did on this album that I'll get into, I think it's her what's the word I'm looking for? Her bass in a way for me. The songs that I think really, really make Beyonce, and she, just recreate songs from this album, not in a bad way, but I think this is her core bass. So I wanted to talk about B-Day, and that's what the hell I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put this album behind me and we're gonna get into this. Let me just start by saying that going back and listening to it on streaming service Apple, I don't like that you only have the deluxe version of B-Day. It really gave me a headache on how the track listing was. Maybe that's how the record company presented to you guys and things of that nature. But it really kind of it makes the album itself. I think when you do that, it's like putting Thriller on shuffle. And I don't think you should do that. Also, I think B-Day is this is that where the woman in power shit really got into Beyonce music for me. When she started making music that all women can sing. I know Dangerously in Love has his records before y'all start throwing bullets and darts at me and everything. But I think this one I think all the songs are pretty much are empowering women, from start to finish, and I just thought that was a dope thing. The way the women react to these songs on this album shows me the empowerment and the strength it gives them, even though it's not Who Run the World Girls or Formation and things of that nature. I think all those ideas kind of stem from ideas that were created on this album. So let's get into it. First of all, this album was made in 2 weeks. That's just so fucking dope in itself. You could tell that's really some Jay-Z shit, to make the album in 2 weeks. She did it after she filmed, what was the movie? Dreamgirls. She went on a vacation, a month vacation, and after she made Dreamgirls, because she said she wasn't going to create music while she was making the movie. She just wanted to focus on that. But a lot of inspiration from that movie leaked into this album. So even her dad at the time, who was her manager, didn't even know she was making an album. She just called all these producers, not even a lot of producers, but she called some of the best producers, writers, and they just had them all in different rooms in the studio creating stuff, kind of creating a competition, a friendly competition in a way. And also shout out to Sean Garrett, because the songs he penned on this album are fucking ridiculous. I don't know if people know who Sean Garrett is, but he penned a lot of songs on B-Day that's really freaking dope. To start it off with Deja Vu, I think it was a dope way to start the album. Not only was it Deja Vu's not one of my favorite Beyonce songs, but I think it sounds good to start an album, especially if it's your sophomore album coming back, and it's just also the title just Deja Vu, Here I Am Again, but Deja Vu in which she were talking about in the actual song, being in love. Is Deja Vu about her in love with another guy? Like, cause I was reading up on it and I was like, wait, I didn't know this song was about her. Like, it seemed like she was in a relationship with somebody else, but was in love with somebody else. I don't know. Just doing my research on it, I was kind of confused. So I wanted to ask you. I just remembered. But you know that this Deja Vu got a lot of flack when it came out, like video wise. Like people were like, it was like a petition for signed by over 5,000 people for her to reshoot the video. I learned all this doing more research on it. But Deja Vu, when it came out, the video, it got a lot of bad flack for it because this is what I read. People felt like, for one, it was too sexual in a way, like she was giving, looked like she was giving fellatio to Jay-Z. Two, they felt the video had no concept or anything in it. Three, over 5,000 people signed a petition for her to reshoot the video. And also doing more research, I found out it was a lot of stuff that like the media was putting against Beyonce at this time before the album dropped. Like it was a bunch of shit. Like it was something with the Ring the Alarm video. It was like they were making these smear campaigns. It was crazy. I didn't even know all this like shit went into like this album. Like living in that time, I wasn't into like discovering who's like trying to take down Beyonce. But it was a lot of shit. Like that was just one of the funny things about I just wrote down because I was like, who the fuck cared about that much? I don't think Deja Vu is like one of her greatest videos, but I'm not sitting there like, you know what? You gotta reshoot this. Like, this ain't making no sense. Look it up. That shit's crazy. I just think Deja Vu was a great song to start the album with. Like I said, just like Here I Am Again, Deja Vu, also in a more complex what the song is actually talking about. I just thought it was cool. And, you know, it's her and Jay-Z. So it kind of falls in line with just like the Crazy in Love thing. Like, let's just continue from that. That was her first single. Now this is the second first single. So I like that. Getting into Gimme Body by Swiss Beats. And Dark Child did the Deja Vu beat, which is one of her things that she wanted to introduce a lot of live instrumentation into, well, just sounds into her music this go round. So Gimme Body is just, I look at that song and I just like, this is one of the freest songs ever. like that song is just like party written all over it. Like it's, and just to see how me growing up, seeing how women react and also being in parties and clubs when that song comes on, like that song gets a crazy reaction even to this day. Like that Swiss beat sound, I think he gave her some of the best production that he had at the time, like from Gimme Body to Upgrade You to Ring the Alarm. Like I think all those records are fucking dope. Sugar Mama, I didn't like listen to that song a lot like growing up. Like it came out in 2016. 2006, excuse me. It came out in 2006. I was 16. So like I always heard Sugar Mama. Maybe like back then the beat of it didn't catch my ear, but listening to it now with my adult ears, that shit is fucking ridiculous. Like Rich Harrison did his fucking thing on that fucking beat. Like I mentioned, the live instrumentation, he always has that go-go feel because he's from the DMV area, and it got like that, just that upbeatness, and it had like this 60s blues sample in it, like boom, dun, 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 like that guitar in the beginning of it. Listen back to it, I had to rewind it. Just the instrumentation of itself was just so fucking dope, and the snare, everything was so crisp. Like everything was so crisp, and her vocal range on that song, I think, I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but obviously it's her second album. I think her vocal range, just being track 3 on her second album, like exceeded the shit that was on Dangerous Love. I could be speaking out of tone, but she did every freaking vocal on the whole album. But just listen to Sugar Mama and listen to all the vocals that she laid on that song, like, and even the ranges she was hitting, because I know a lot of people, I'm not gonna say who, but I know a lot of white people who like hate on Beyonce vocals, especially at this time. But I think this was a major step up from Dangerously in Love, where you could still hear the potential of where she could go. I think all the ranges and shit that she did in this album is shit that we still see today. Going back to what she was inspired by when she was making Dreamgirls, that sound of the 60s and things of that nature that she incorporated within this album, I just thought that was so fucking dope. So going back on the re-listen, Sugar Mama is probably one of my favorites on the album, because just from a production and her vocal ability on a song, and just the topic of itself of just like, oh shit, she started talking that shit. But she said some line like tell me what you want, my accountant's on the phone type shit. I don't know the line exactly, but I was like, oh shit, Beyonce, like really talking that shit. That's that female empowering shit. So many rappers and musicians make songs about, money making, giving them power, and like at least to a female in a way, and the way she just flips it and then they go on to Upgrade You, which is like a great continuation from Sugar Mom. Is like Sugar Mom on the next level of just like let me upgrade you. Like, you know how much boss talk that is to have, and also to have Jay-Z on the record and basically Son and Hove. You know how hard it is to Son Hove on the record, and she like, nah, I'm the reason you wear this. Your Audemars Piguet watch, your dimples in your necktie. Like, she was like, let me do this. It gave me the satisfaction of when a rapper spits some dope bars. Audemars Piguet watch, dimples in your necktie. Going into Ring the Alarm, and like again, Swiss Beats did his fucking job. Like, Ring the Alarm, I think if she doesn't do song Ring the Alarm is such a pivotal moment in her career. I don't think if she does that song, she wouldn't be able to do songs like 6-Inch Heels. Like, I think that song was the catalyst for all that. Like, that when Beyonce goes into her rock back sort of kind of and get the screaming and just you hear the emotion and just things of that nature. Like, I just think that song, I don't know if it gets the respect it deserves in her catalog because she has so many fucking great songs and hits. But that one, I don't think if you don't get that song, you don't get people like, you don't even get the Rihanna type songs like that, or the Rated R and what Rihanna became to be and her kind of songs that she make when she like You Needed Me in a Way, or even like from Rihanna to like Lizzo, like Truth Hurts. You don't get those types of songs like without Ring the Alarm to me. This was 2006. Like, you got to think it wasn't really, that wasn't even a thing. Like, what other female act was out? Like Mary J. Blige, like in 2006, Beyonce was like the only one for real, for real. And the part of the bridge where they drop it out a bit and she sings in like this kind of falsetto tone, like, how can you that bridge is so fucking dope to like, cause it's so like needed in the song, but then she goes right back into the hard drums and ring the alarm, I've been down for too long. And people, another thing that I read was that I've totally forgot, but people try to make it seem like she wrote that about Rihanna, which makes it just ironic. And she was like, it was an interview and she was like, cause the rumors of Jay-Z and Rihanna around that time. And she was like, oh, I never heard that. Like, it's like her rebuttal was that she never even heard of that rumor. And I was like, yeah, you're lying. Like, you heard that. Like, you heard that. To go into Kitty Cat, Neptune's beat, probably my favorite song on the album. Kitty Cat is one of those songs when it came out. It was one of those I had to like listen to my iPod and was like on low. Like, Devon, what you listen to? Nothing. Lil Wayne. I think that song is, from just the production standpoint alone, I think it gives like this. I wish I would have went back and watched the video for Kitty Cat just to see what visuals she put to it. And that's another thing. She's like this was the first time she did the videos for every song, but it was like a story as well, where she continued with the Beyoncé self-titled album and Lemonade. So I think you just got to give BDAY his credit for that. And the bridge on there is also amazing when they switch the beat up. And even the subject matter is just like empowering. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a song that just came out that's just like this. I think it's on the Jasmine Sullivan album. like the skit she has when she says like, men think that, they own your shit, but you actually own the shit. And it's like empowering. Like, I was just listening to this song and it's just so fucking dope. And that's the first time she did that. Like, that kind of rap flow kind of singing. Like, that carries on from everything that she does. To me, probably not, Video Phone, she does that too. But that's after that. But like that tone that she has and talking in and rapping in, that's the shit that like carried on after that. She didn't really do that on Dangerously in Love to me. Like, it was more, for lack of better words, I hate using this, but she had like a little bit more swag. Like, she was in her bag. She found her pocket that she could just be comfortable with. And that probably came from her dad not knowing that she was recording this album. Because he probably been like, nah, don't do that. Don't say it like that. But he probably wouldn't even allow the song like that. But whatever. I just love that song. I probably went into that a little bit more than I needed to. But I love that subject matter and just the empowerment of it. And then going to Freakum Dress, Rich Harrison again, that live instrumentation, is that the dun 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 dun. Like that shit is just tough. And I've seen how females react to that song as well. And that shit, I could see that song being played before the girls linking up, what do you call it? The pre-turn up before they go out to the club or whatever. And I think the second half of the album, 5 through 10, is a great sequence from Ring the Alarm, Kitty Cat, into Freakum Dress. I think, and even to Green Light, I think it's, even in Irreplaceable and Resentment, I think it's a great sequence of story. Like to go from Kitty Cat, like, he don't want you anymore, and then to go in the Freakum Dress, like, you got to put your Freakum Dress on because you got to remind these niggas sometimes. And then to go into Green Light, telling the guy, another Neptune's joint, is just like, all right, nigga, if you want to, you got the green light. I ain't holding you. like, it's plenty other people out here that love me for who I am, and I'm not. Like, just telling females that, I think that's so fucking dope. Green Light and then going to Irreplaceable, like, you must not know. Like, it's so fucking dope. I never realized how that was sequenced before I went back and listened to it and just the story that it tells. Irreplaceable, I can't really say much about Irreplaceable that hasn't been said. like, you know what that song is. That's probably one of her biggest singles to date. Yeah, I can't say anything about Irreplaceable that hasn't been said already. Like, I can't. I tell you one thing, though. Going back and listening to it, I think Resentment is a great song to close the album, and going back and listen to it is probably one of my favorite Beyonce songs. And that song could probably easily live on Lemonade. Not probably. That song could easily live on Lemonade. Like, that's how great that song is. That could be the, I guess, the outro she made up with Jay-Z. Somewhere along the tail end of Lemonade, Resentment. Hey, I know every girl probably loves Resentment. Like, it's the only ballad on there, first of all, for me. I guess you could probably consider Irreplaceable a ballad, almost. If it didn't have those drums and snares, you could consider that a ballad. But the only ballad on here, and the only time, I think it's the best song on here. I think it's the best lyrics on here, and I think it's the one song that, obviously it's called BDAY because it's a celebration, but it's also the one song that you can hear pain in. Like, because for the most part, like I said, I enjoy it because it's so upbeat, and it does have its messages of women empowerment and things of that nature, but it can also come off as superhero-like. And I think Resentment, like, I think it actually shows, like, when a superhero takes off the cape after saving the day for so many days, and they're just, like, tired and exhausted, and they have feelings as well. And it's just so fucking heartfelt, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure this song, I'm probably speaking out of tone and turn here, but I'm pretty sure, like you said, I'm late. I'm pretty sure this song got a lot of women through a lot of situations. I think it's it's not a verse. It's like the outro verse, but I know she was attractive, but I was here first. Been riding with you for 6 years. Why did I deserve to be treated this way by you? I know you're probably thinking, what's up with B? I've been crying for too long. What did you do to me? Like, that shit is, like, crazy. like, that's the most like she got emotional through this whole album. And just like the line you said, like, she said, I can't stop crying. You could have told me you wasn't happy. I know you didn't want to hurt me, but look what you done to me now. I got to look at her in the eyes and see. What she say? I got to look in her eyes. How could you lie? Like, I was like, oh shit. Like, I think back in the past, I never really gave Resentment its just due, just because the rest of the BDAY is so turned up. Like, it's so turned up. Like, it's hard to, I don't even know how y'all did it as women, like, went through all that. But I guess that's just, I can't speak for y'all, but I guess as a human, if you're going through heartbreak at the end of the album, like, you go through all these phases. You go through like, you could it's a whole relationship. Give Me Bodies, I would say she meets the guy. Sugar Mama is, like, her establishing who she is. Upgrade is, like, I could make you who you are. Ring the Alarm is the insecurity of someone that's could be infiltrating. And then it's like, oh, you're acting up, Kitty Cat. You really acting up and not paying attention. Freakum Dress. Green Light, you could leave. Irreplaceable, you're gone. Like, and then Resentment. Like, it's so that, like I said at the beginning, this is the Beyonce album that's really, it's really concise and everything matters. Like, it's certain Beyonce albums that's dope and it has great songs, but then there'd be some songs in there like, why'd you have to throw this one in? Like, it kind of throw off the whole rhythm for me. But just from an artist standpoint, I think the whole story of this album is just so fucking dope. And the fact that it was recorded in 2 weeks, salute. Like, just salute. Like, and it was recorded in 2 weeks, mixed in the third week, and then it was out. You know how crazy that is? Like, she was supposed to record in 6 months. The whole thing was finished in a month. It was either 3 or 6 months, but the whole thing is recorded in 2 weeks. And the rest, everything else is just mixing, mastering, and making levels right. Like, yeah, that shit is just dope, man. That's why if 4 wasn't 4, this would be my favorite Beyonce album. Like, and you know, 4 is like her least selling album. Yeah. Let's get into best songs. I'm gonna go with Resentment, Kitty Cat, and Upgrade. Oh, Flaws and All. Is like a bonus track, but I love Flaws and All, so as well. Honorable mention. Oh, before you say that, can I just talk about that run she does on Green Light? You're holding up traffic, green means go, go. Like, oh my gosh. Runs was ridiculous. Worst song, I'm gonna go with Deja Vu. I think that's the worst song on here. Like, as much as I like it as just the start of an album, I never really loved Deja Vu. And even though I talked all that shit about the video, I never really liked the Deja Vu video myself. I could do without. Like, they got better songs together. They got Upgrade, You Crazy in Love. Deja Vu is just like, favorite line is loved you more than another, more than my own life. But the part of me that I gave you, it was a sacrifice. And it's all because you lied. I just thought, I like poetry and shit. Like, I just think that even with just like, loved you more than another, more than my own life, but the part of me I gave to you, it was sacrifice. It's all because you lied. And tip my head to Beyonce as well, because she co-wrote and produced like almost every song on here. So you got to give her that. All right, let me wrap this shit up. I'm a train wreck in the morning. To me, this is the album Beyonce became a superhero. I think this is the one that, this is the one she became Wonder Woman. This is the one where she went from, you know what, I like Beyonce to, because you remember, for those who don't know, I've seen all stages of Beyonce, from Destiny's Child to Dangerously in Love to Lemonade. So I remember when Beyonce was hated a lot. Like, I remember when it wasn't Queen Bee. I remember, like, for lack of better words, she had to earn that, and rightfully so, she did. I think she put in the work to be that. And again, I think this album is I can't say this, it sounds weird for me saying this, but I think it's a very inspiration for women. Like, just to see how women react when songs from BDAY come on. Of course, Beyonce had those songs riddled through her whole discography, but if you go down this track list, and man, I seen how women react to Get Me Body, Sugar Mama, Upgrade You, Ring the Alarm, Kitty Cat, Freedom Dress, Green Light, Irreplaceable, and Resentment. All types of emotions. Like, I've seen it all, and I don't really see that as much with maybe Lemonade, because you know what that is. But other than that, she gets her songs here and there, but I've never seen women react the way they reacted when BDAY came out, and how, not even with Dangerously in Love, and that's a great album as well, but that shit got like 38 songs on it. This album is cut down to 10 records, like 10 great records, and I think she fucking knocked it out the park. Again, I think this is the foundation of all the females we get now too, like the Lizzos, the Rihannas, the anybody you want to put in that category of like making songs like Ring the Alarm and Upgrade You. Like, we didn't get that before that. I don't know if I could just be speaking out of tone. I'm gonna keep saying that, but we didn't get that like that before. Like, even with Lauryn Hill, was more of a, what we discussed yesterday. It was different. Like, it wasn't. Man, she made single ladies. Like that's how I can sum it up, man. Like, That feeling when single ladies come on and what that gives the women, that's a Beyonce vibe that just can't be duplicated. This album has no lows. It's like an adrenaline shot straight through from deja vu to resentment. It's like, you ready to get on this roller coaster? All right. Like when you step out of it, it's like leaving the club. Like what? Like, man, that bitch. I can't say that, but that's what females. Man, that bitch done did it again. But I just love this album. I'm glad to have it in my collection. Yeah, it's one of my favorite Beyonce albums. It needs all its flowers. It needs all its love. And, you know, I'm just glad I could talk about it. And even as a guy, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be like one of the first few guys to talk about BDAY to this extent and show love to it. So that just shows you how great, just from an artist standpoint, the body of work is just top tier. I'm Tatum. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, all week I'm going to be dropping content about women. If you haven't subscribed, like, share, do all that good stuff. It's time for me to put this record back on my wall. Yeah, that's pretty much it.